Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech, protected.
Are you sick of looking at Netflix and you don't know what to watch?
So many movies out there, you don't know which ones are good, which ones were bad.
You curious about what's out there?
I'm Joey Powers.
I'm Don Trettler.
This is the best pictures.
The ones you don't want to miss.
Hit it. Say hello to my little friend.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Winners go home and prom queen.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
I don't deserve this. Deserves got nothing to do with it.
No sequel for you.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of The Best Pictures. I'm one of your hosts, Joey Powers.
And I'm Don Trettler. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. Yes, we're going to kind of mix it up today and just talk about all things Oscar, between movies that are nominated this year, what we think were maybe the best pictures of previous years, maybe movies that we thought won Best Picture that shouldn't have won Best Picture.
Right.
One huge one comes to mind that I've mentioned on this show several times. So basically, you've seen one movie that's nominated for Best Picture this year.
Right.
And that was Mank.
Right.
Okay, so what was that about?
Well, we could tell these people. Tell them what we're looking at. The nominations this year are The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, Trial of the Chicago 7, and Nomadland. The only one I've seen was Mank, directed by David Fincher, one of my favorite directors.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Excellent director.
starring Gary Oldman, who won Best Actor a couple of years ago, not that long ago.
Darkest Hour.
Yeah,
Yep.
really great actor.
Yes,
so
excellent.
I mean, I was super excited, but I kind of felt like it was meh. It was all right. Didn't blow my mind.
I saw the Trial of Chicago 7. I forgot, now looking at it, Michael Keaton's in it as well. Good cast, disappointing though. I didn't think it was nearly as good. Directed by Aaron Sorkin, who did like The West Wing and The American President. I think, did he write? I almost want to say he wrote a movie that, Social Network. I think he wrote The Social Network. I think he won an Oscar for The Social Network. Very talented writer.
Yeah.
And Eddie Redmayne has an Oscar. Sacha Baron Cohen's nominated for an Oscar. Mark Rylance has an Oscar. Michael Keaton's been nominated for an Oscar. I think Frank Langella was nominated for Frost Nixon one year.
Yeah,
I think he was. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I don't think he's ever been nominated, but he's a really good actor, So it was a really good cast, and
Was it a long movie?
I don't remember.
Beyond 2 hours?
I think it was a little over 2 hours. I don't think it was a lot over 2 hours. I think probably standard for a movie. What's that? Between an hour and 45, 2 hours, roughly, something in that area.
But not a huge long epic.
No. A lot of good performances, but just something didn't do it for me. I don't know.
I didn't do my homework. I should have watched it for this week because it's on Netflix.
It is on Netflix, yes. That's where I watched it. And I just went home one day and I was like, I kept looking at it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just watch it. I was like, maybe it is a little, like 2 hours and 16 minutes, I want to say, now that I think of it. Well, I'm on the freaking thing right here.
You know what interests me about it is it's about 1968 Democratic Convention in Chicago. And we just went through a really, what's the way to put it? I'm trying to think of a good word for it. A really interesting time in our election of 2020.
Yeah, I'd say
which was a very divided. We had a very divided country, and I think 1968 was pretty close to the same thing. Like we think that this was because a lot of people don't remember. A lot of the same people don't remember people that are alive now.
Yeah.
Think that this is a time when things were incredibly partisan and a lot of emotion in the country. In 1968 was the same. There was The Trial of the Chicago 7. I think this was documented. I'm trying to think of who wrote the book about this. Hunter S. Thompson, I think, attended the convention and wrote about it. And Norman Mailer wrote about the Republican convention as well in Miami of the same year. So it was just seemed like a really incredible time, like politically. So I'd like to see that movie. I should have seen it, and I feel like an idiot, frankly. So, what about of the other ones? Of the other ones on this list, are there other ones that you would look forward to seeing?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I looked them up a couple of weeks ago, but I don't remember what they're all about.
Nomadland has gotten the best word of mouth that I've seen. I mean, this is what I did is I wrote down. It got 4 stars on the Roger Ebert site, and it got 7.6 on IMDb. Mm-hmm. The only one that's higher than that was The Father with Anthony Hopkins, which I was mentioning to Joey. I keep an ongoing list of movies I want to see, and The Father was on there 3 times. So at 3 different times.
So Don needs to see this movie.
Oh yeah, and I love Anthony Hopkins. I just saw him in The Fastest Indian.
Okay, so that's the Frances McDormand, David Strathairn one is Nomadland.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I remember reading about this. That's one I'm definitely interested in seeing, because that's a couple of powerhouse actors right there.
Right.
You know, I think he's very underrated because he's never the lead star.
Right.
You know, I mean, I think he was in Good Night, Good Luck, and he was nominated for Best Actor for that. But other than that, he's always he's great in 8 Men Out. Played Eddie Seacott. He's actually in A League of Their Own. He plays Ira Rosenstein or Lowenstein or something like that. He's great in that too.
What's the other one? He was in Dolores Claiborne with Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates.
And she says to him, "Now you listen here, Mr. Grand High Pooba Vupa Butt Crack." So I agree with you. He's an underrated actor. He's a guy who's kind of under the radar. Person on the street wouldn't know who he is.
Nope.
But
he's also the brother in The Firm. He's Tom Cruise's brother.
Yeah, I always look. If I see his name, he's a guy that I would look forward to seeing.
Yeah. And like I said before, I think 8 Men Out is probably my favorite baseball movie of all time, and that's saying a lot because there's been a lot of good baseball movies. Wow. Oh, he's in Darkest Hour. He plays President Roosevelt's voice. So I guess he doesn't really play it, but he voices the president's voice.
That's pretty cool.
I haven't seen that.
So Sound of Metal. Alex said that he saw it, though I couldn't quite get his opinion before he left. But that's a pretty highly regarded movie. Sound of Metal, 3.5 stars on Ebert, 7.8.
That's pretty high.
IMDb. Yeah,
that's pretty
very high. Promising Young Woman. My niece told me about that. Said it was a really good movie. It's I don't think it's on Netflix though. I think it's on one of the other ones. It's about a woman who intentionally, if I remember this correctly, she intentionally goes to bars and tries to get, and makes believe she's drunk and tries to get guys to pick her up. I don't know what she does from there. I think she probably beats them up or yells at them or something. I don't know, but it's something to do with that, talking about how men tend to take advantage of women when they're drunk.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of women. I guess a lot of women have drinking problems too. So this is a big.
Sounds like an interesting movie.
I think so.
Interesting idea for a movie. Who's the promising young woman?
Oh, I wish I could remember. It's not a big star.
No.
Not somebody I know.
I can tell you right now, IMDb went crazy for the description of Minari. Wow.
Yeah.
A Korean family starts a farm in 1980s Arkansas. Wow. Way to get me interested to see that movie.
3.5 stars, 7.7 on IMDb. It looks like a good, solid movie, good, solid drama.
It doesn't sound like it. Oh, it's Carrie Mulligan. She's nominated for Best Actress, too. I don't like her.
No?
No, she's,
Wasn't she in that movie that you liked with Ben Affleck? And didn't she play Ben Affleck's girlfriend in the one where he's trying to rob, they're in Boston and they're trying to rob the bank?
No, that's The Town. Blake
she's not
Lively.
in town?
No, Blake Lively is his ex-girlfriend, and Rebecca Hall is the one, the bank manager that he starts dating. No, she's Michael Fassbender's sister in Shame, and I thought she was really, really annoying.
Oh.
You know, but I thought Shame was great. I think if that wasn't NC-17, he probably would have been nominated for Best Actor because he was nominated for Golden Globe, and I almost want to say he was nominated for a Screen Actors Guild. But the Oscars are kind of like snooty when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't think there are too many. I think at the top of my head, I think there have been 2 NC-17 movies ever nominated for Best Picture. I think it was Bonnie and Clyde and A Clockwork Orange.
What about Midnight Cowboy?
Midnight Cowboy is the only one that's ever won Best Picture being NC-17. I forgot about that. That's Ratso Rizzo.
Right.
And what's his name? John
Voight?
No, but what's his name in the movie?
Oh, jeez.
I haven't seen that in...
I haven't seen it in a long time either.
I haven't seen it since I worked at 2020, because I used to get old movies after a certain date. You know, you could take anything home for free, and I'd never seen it, and I watched it. And, I mean, we're talking like early 2000s. That's a really good movie, though.
It's been a long time.
Dustin Hoffman is such a sleaze in that movie. And then John Voight ends up turning into a sleaze in that movie, so to speak. I'm kind of curious to see what that got for a rating. Because, yeah, that one Best Picture, 7.8. I think John Schlesinger, is that right?
Sounds right.
Did he direct that? Yep, yeah. John Schlesinger. A naive hustler travels from Texas to New York City to seek personal fortune, finding a new friend in the process. That's one way to put it. But it is. It's a good movie. I mean, I would watch it again.
Oh, yeah. You're making me want to see it now.
I know. Just because I haven't seen it. I don't think I own that one. But just because I haven't seen it in such a long time. You know, we're talking 20-something years now. But it's, yeah, I mean, it was definitely. Now, see, they say it's R here, but when it was released, it was not rated R. It was, and see, I think if you look now, Bonnie and Clyde and Clockwork Orange might both be rated R now because they've kind of, you know, they were pretty uptight back because those movies are all 60s movies. You know, nowadays, I mean, Shame, if you've seen Shame deserves to be rated NC-17. There's a lot of graphic, of graphic nudity in that film. But it doesn't take anything away from the movie.
I think that was the first one where I really became aware of Michael Fassbender.
Me too.
I've kind of became a fan of his since then.
I'd heard of him, but I hadn't seen him really in anything.
Right.
And I just read a review on Shame, and I was like, you know what? I wanna check this out. And no, he's great. He's very talented. Like I said, I stopped watching 12 Years a Slave because of how miserable he was to who's the actor in that? The lead? It wasn't Chadwick Boseman, was it?
I don't think it is. I think Chadwick Boseman's in it, but I don't think he's the lead guy.
I forget his name. But the way he was so violent to his girlfriend or wife or whatever, I couldn't watch it after. Oh, Chiwetel, yeah.
Ajit 4, yeah.
Him.
I know.
He's good.
We're not putting him down by saying it. We just can't pronounce
I can't pronounce his name, no. It's like every time I try to pronounce something, Colin always gives me crap for it.
Djimon Hounsou.
I've never, yeah.
And the other guy, the guy that won 2 years in a row.
Alejandro, Rahat. I don't know.
We don't know. He's a good actor.
Thing is,
we like him.
I watch the Oscars every year, and I've heard his name over and over. I still can't pronounce it. You know, I mean, he won what? For Birdman? Is that what it was?
What was it called? Not Midnight.
Are you talking about Moonlight?
Moonlight.
I don't think he did Moonlight, though, did he? I think he won for The Revenant and for...
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Inarritu.
Yeah. Why? Who are you talking about?
I always talk about the guy that won Best Actor for Moonlight.
Yeah.
And then the next year...
I never pronounced his name right.
Is it the one I'm thinking of?
Yes, I'm sure.
Mahershala Ali?
Yes, Mahershala Ali.
There we go.
Close?
Green Book. Yeah.
Green Book and, Moonlight. Yeah. Mahershala Ali. I'll get that wrong next week. Guaranteed.
We should make a list of these guys and learn how to pronounce their names.
I know. I feel like if you click on their names on certain things, like speak it out for you.
We're just simple guys. We can pronounce Dave, Bob.
Yeah. Frank, Eddie.
Is there anybody up here we can't pronounce?
I know Regis Philbin one year called Javier Bardem Xavier Bardem, and he was hosting the Oscars. I was like, dude, I mean, that's kind of embarrassing. I don't know. I think we're pretty good with all these.
All these people, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
We don't mean disrespect by it. It's
not at all.
They're getting to be a lot more, I don't know what would you say, foreign names that we need to practice.
Yeah. I mean.
Speaking of which, Judas and the Black Messiah has, what's his name? Daniel.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I can't pronounce the guy from Get Out.
Good. Yeah, he was in Get Out, and I saw him in an episode of The Black Mirror, too. So that's a good one to look forward to. I'm trying to think what I read about this. It's about a guy from the FBI who infiltrates the Black Panthers. And this guy, the actor that we're talking about, he is the head of the Black Panthers. And my understanding, he does a tremendous job. And
I think he won the Globe for supporting actor, the Golden Globe.
That could be, yeah.
I think he did.
And the lead guy is the guy who's making believe he's in the FBI, or who's in the FBI, who's making believe he's in the Black Panthers. So he's the Judas of the Black, and the other guy's the Black Messiah. So I think we talked about all these.
I know one movie that's nominated for a few Oscars, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Yeah.
Wasn't nominated for Best Picture, but it looks like Chadwick Boseman's pretty much a shoo-in. And I don't think that has anything to do with the fact that he passed away. I think it's just, it was just, I mean, he's a good actor.
That's on Netflix. We should watch
Is
that.
it? I didn't know that. Yeah.
I think it is.
I would definitely watch that.
Of course, I could be mistaken because I went to sit down and watch a movie last week and it wasn't on.
The one thing that was, I didn't like is that Viola Davis is in it, and I don't know what it is. Ever since I saw, by the way, the movie that we were talking about, Widows.
Right.
Remember we said it was a one-word? It's just the makeout scene in the beginning of that movie is gross. It just creeps me out. Her and Liam Neeson, it's like they're like literally really making out. It was like, I don't know. I just don't like seeing other people make out. During the recorded session, tensions arise between Ma Rainey, her ambitious horn player, and the white management determined to control the uncontrollable mother of the blues. So is that based on a true story?
I think it is, and it was based on a play. It ran on Broadway for a long time.
It's nominated for 5 Oscars. I mean, just because it's not Best Picture, that doesn't necessarily... let's see. Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role. Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role. Best Achievement in Production Design. Best Achievement in Makeup and Hairstyle. And Best Achievement in Costume Design. So two of the biggest Oscars, Actor and Actress.
I got to watch that this next week.
What does this get, I wonder? I don't know how to go back on this.
Word on That's pretty good, too. Another good movie.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, it didn't make the top 8.
I mean, if you're... Well, that's what I don't get. You can have up to 10. Why did they cap it at 8? Why not just go with 10?
Maybe they just felt it was a weak year.
Maybe. 7.1. So, I mean, that's...
I initially thought this list was pretty weak. But when I went back and started to look at the ratings and read some of the reviews on these movies, I realized that, it may not be such a weak series of movies.
I would say of the one that I watched, Trial of Chicago 7, I wouldn't give it 7.8. I wouldn't give it that high.
No.
Maybe like a 7, but not. I mean...
Mank got a 7. Like I said, it was good. It's good. It's probably worth your time. I don't think it's an award-winning film, but that's my 2 cents to the whole thing.
All right, now something else that we were gonna kind of bring up in the conversation is, what are some of your favorite Best Picture winners of previous years?
Some of the favorites. Well, I know this is one of your favorite movies. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Absolutely.
Which is a tremendous movie.
Yep. Without question.
Raging Bull.
Raging Bull, believe it or not, did not win Best Picture.
Yeah.
It lost to Ordinary People, which was terrible. Did you see that?
I did.
That's one of the ones that I was going to say is a crime. That and, I've said it a million times, Shakespeare in Love beating Saving Private Ryan. That is like the biggest crime in Oscar history. How? Alex will tell you his whole conspiracy theory about how Harvey Weinstein schmoozed his way. But, I mean, come on. Have you seen both of those?
Definitely.
Oh my God, Shakespeare! I can't even believe Shakespeare in Love was nominated for Best Picture. I didn't like it at all.
I would say I would watch Saving Private Ryan again, but you know what? I think I would skip D-Day. I don't think I would watch D-Day again, but I would watch the rest of the film again. I mean, and the D-Day is quite an accomplishment.
The scene when he's pulling the guy and all of a sudden he looks back and he's only pulling the guy's arm, the rest of his body's gone.
It's just, I mean, he creates it. He really gives you that sense of
That
D-Day.
you're there. That you're there. You know, you're in the battle.
I don't want to go there again. I went there once with Steven Spielberg. That's it. And he did a tremendous job. And I want to see the rest of the film again. I want to see.
If I remember, I'll bring it in next week. I've seen it probably 20, 25 times. I love, other than Platoon, that's my favorite war movie of all time.
Yeah.
You know, the reason I like Platoon more is because it's more about conflict within the crew, whatever they're called.
Right. The platoon.
The platoon, yeah, duh. You know, it's more about them fighting amongst each other than it is about them fighting the enemy. You know, and that's based on Oliver Stone's experiences when he was in Vietnam. Loosely, I don't know how much is fiction and nonfiction.
I'm trying to think what war movie I saw recently that made me think about this. Basically, that there's two sides to all these stories. We see a lot of war movies, and up until the Vietnam period, all the war movies basically represented that we, the Americans, were the heroes. So anybody that was on the other side of us in a war, they were the bad guys
automatically.
Which is easy to do with World War II and the Nazis. That they're the bad guys, but. When you look at the other side of this, I mean, say you look at the Vietnam War, some of these people they're fighting for their country. It's their country. It's on their land.
It's in their soil, yeah. Another one, a Best Picture one that I didn't care for, I know you did, that was one Best Picture and was a war movie, was The Hurt Locker.
Yeah.
I didn't care. There wasn't enough action in it for me. When I think of a war movie, I think of a lot of fighting and stuff like that, and it was more of a drama.
Oh yeah,
to
and
me.
that's why it appeals to me, because I really like dramas a lot more than I like action.
I mean, I like the fact that that's what kind of introduced Jeremy Renner as really like a leading man.
Right, as a serious actor.
Yeah, because I mean, he was another one that until that time had really like bit parts. Never really got a chance to be like the lead. Anthony Mackie's another one. He's in that. I'd never really heard of him at the time. Now he plays Falcon in the Avengers movies.
Right.
He's in Detroit, which you told me about, which I really, really liked. And Detroit wasn't nominated for any Oscars, was it? I feel like that was a movie.
Jeez, I'd be surprised. I mean, it really was a pretty good movie.
I feel like that's a movie that's good enough that it should have been nominated.
I think, she just was getting so... She had won for Hurt Locker. The next year was Zero Dark 30. Tremendous movie.
I haven't
nominated
seen that.
for the Academy Award
Yep.
that year. And then she came out with Detroit. It was like she was just on a roll.
No, it wasn't nominated for any Oscars.
Huh.
It's a 7.3 though. So I mean that's a pretty.
It's up there. It's up there. 7.3 would definitely rate with these movies for this year.
In line with. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I definitely would recommend that movie. I'm really surprised it didn't win. Or at least get nominated, rather.
Right.
Because it was. And that's another one that's based on a true story. Very, very controversial true story. And that's another one that I didn't know that story existed until you were telling me about it. And I was like, I gotta watch this, because, and like I said, the lead bad cop, was the little kid in We're the Millers. Because I knew I recognized him, and I'm like, and I typed his name in, and I was like, that's the little young innocent kid in We're the Millers is this guy? Oh. I couldn't believe you, because you've seen We're the Millers. Isn't that the movie you and Jake did the No Film Festival on?
No.
It wasn't. That was the Lemony Snickets, right?
Right.
Lemony Snickets, okay. But it was not John, it was Luis Guzman was okay. But I couldn't believe it. I was like, really? This young little innocent kid is now being like the biggest jerk. I'm one of the biggest jerks I've ever seen in movies.
There was one like that for me. Oh shoot, I can't think what the name of it was. It was the kid it was a British movie.
Yeah.
And the kid, his family sent him to go to be a boxer, and instead he was in the same like church or whatever, and he saw this ballet class and he wanted to dance. And then he's like, because he wants to dance, some other kid thinks he's gay and makes a pass at him, but he's not gay. He just wants
Billy
to dance.
Elliot?
Billy Elliot.
Yes. I haven't seen that, but I knew exactly.
Jamie Bell.
Jamie Bell, yep. I knew exactly what you're talking about.
He was the kid, and then he was in Lars von Trier's Nymphomaniac, and he plays this like sadist. And I was like, oh my God, that's the little kid from Billy Elliot.
Oh my God, yeah, no, that's crazy. And that's exactly how I felt about We're the Millers, the kid from We're the Millers. But I think we're just about out of time this week. Yeah, we pulled it off, not really having much of an idea of where we're going, but we just like to talk.
Hopefully we'll see some more of these movies in the next coming weeks.
Yeah,
I'll see Chicago 7.
But like I said, just because they don't necessarily have to be nominated for Best Picture. I mean, Ma Rainey, whatever, is nominated for 5 Oscars, 2 major Oscars. I mean, that's that's pretty high. So yeah, let's put on watching some more, and we got a few weeks. I think it's right around 3 weeks now, 4 weeks. It's from yesterday for the Oscars. So, all right, well. That was your episode of Best Pictures this week. I'm one of your hosts, Joey Powers.
I'm Don Tretler. These are the ones you don't want to miss.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room. Here's Johnny.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.